repetition of it. I use it as like a coping skill a lot of the times because I can just like I've played a lot of Mario games so much that I can beat each level without even looking at it. So I can like just hear the music and be completely talking to you and finish the level.
Do you play like new Mario or is it old Mario or do they still make
What?
Mario?
New Mario or old Mario?
Both, all the Mario. There's only a few that I haven't played, and I haven't played the new Super Mario RPG because honestly, I don't like that turn-based in video games. It's just not. Except Deltarune. I really like Deltarune, but it's more of it's for the vibe, not for the gameplay, you know?
Like an art style, or
yeah, the art style and the plot, because it's like based on you like beat people with love, essentially.
Well, if only it worked like that in real life.
Right. Like for each of the enemies, you have the option to attack, but you can like be like miss or like tell them something heartfelt or it's so silly.
Nice.
But definitely Super Mario Sunshine is definitely my favorite. That one's on the GameCube. Except for the god-awful camera.
Is that a relatively new game or an older game?
No, it was in 2002, I believe. It was initially meant for the Nintendo 64, but Nintendo hyped up the 64 a little bit too much, and so a lot of those games ended up getting redesigned for the GameCube instead because they bit off more than they could chew, and Super Mario Sunshine was one of those. And so was Animal Crossing.
The games are bigger than the system requirements.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's sounds like
you know what I'm trying to say.
A failure in and equipment.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild. Did you see I think there's a new Mario film. Did you see the film, or
I haven't seen the film.
Is that like an interest to you, or is that like...
I don't know yet because like I've thought about it, and I like if it's bad, I'm gonna be so mad.
Have they made a good Mario film? Like I remember.
Do you remember the OG one?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Oh yes, I do. I saw that in theaters.
You did?
Yes.
Watching it at my grandma's house. But I think I was still too young to understand like what's on the TV isn't real, so I think I was scared for like a month.
I don't remember much. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, the anthropomorphic effects.
YouTube being the way it is, I know that I saw like a secret hack to where you can beat Mario in like 42 seconds or something like that recently. Do you know all the hacks?
The OG Mario, yeah, I do know.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. There's a pipe, and I think it's level 1, or it might be level 2.
Level 1, 2.
It
is level 1, 2. It's in the dungeon, and you can go over, and then you can skip basically the entire game.
But it's not going over; it's like going through or something.
Yeah, it's like you're going through the pipes, and then you end up, I don't know, in the toilet of the last level.
So that was something that I was subjecting early.
No, I would be so concerned.
What about you, Hulker? What got you into gaming? What kind of games are you into?
Tonight's sponsor is very near and dear to my heart.
Do it.
Tonight's sponsor is the Winesburg, Ohio Parliamentary LARP. Yes, the Winesburg Parliament live-action role-playing group consists of a quorum of self-elected individuals who divide up into 2 houses of players and reenact the process of attaching riders to appropriations bills. If you are ever in Winesburg, Ohio on a Saturday night, please check out the Winesburg Parliament LARP and don't ever check out the Winesburg Vampire LARP down the road that totally sucks.
Thank you for that sponsorship. I feel like we're all happier now because now we're more financially the same as we were before. But
don't ever check out that Vampire LARP, the Winesburg Vampire LARP. They suck. They're horrible.
Good job.
The storyteller totally did not get expelled from that LARP at all. He just wants to make sure of that, right? This is not an attempt. This is not some rival attempt that he thought of after one of his stories didn't go well, and he realized he didn't build his character that well, and he just couldn't take it. It had nothing to do with that. He'd been planning this for years. Okay.
No spite. Spite free.
None.
So, what got you into being into games, Holker?
Okay. I remember 1985, and I went over to my uncle's house, and he plugged in Super Mario Brothers that he had just bought from, I think, Walmart or wherever. And he started playing it. Huh?
Was it the one with Duck Hunt, or was it?
Yeah, I think it.
The mat.
No.
You know the mat that you would like with the where you would.
It was the one with Duck Hunt. Yeah.
So it had the gun.
Okay, so it is the Donkey Kong one. That's what you're talking about.
No,
I'm
the
Mario
Mario.
expert, I can answer that.
The Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
It's the
so
one
you're
with
talking
Mario
about
Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, and Duck Hunt.
Okay, so that is the one that has Donkey Kong in it.
I don't think that was the.
Donkey Kong?
No, I don't.
It just had the two
No.
games. There was an Olympic one where that came with like a little plastic mat that you could like if you ran you would lose.
Yeah, I played that over at a friend's as well.
And like the trick was like you just moved your heels up and down really
Yeah.
fast. It wasn't about running.
And I'll also tell you, I had one of the worst products. Probably the second worst product Nintendo ever put out, and that was the Power Glove.
I remember that too.
Yeah. Oh, the commercials hyped it up so much, right? But it didn't really work. But I eventually got a Nintendo. I played a few games. I really liked them. I think I eventually got a Super Nintendo. I would have been fine with a Sega Genesis, but I ended up with a Super Nintendo.
You used the Game Genies. Remember the?
Oh hell yes! Yeah,
like,
and I even took some of the codes and I would modify them by one letter, right? And you would get even crazier effects. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a rival to that one too called the Pro Action Replay.
Mm-hmm.
It was just another version of the Game Genie, but it wasn't as well known, but it still worked.
I
Nice.
also think of the Game Shark.
Yeah, that too.
I've not heard of that one.
It was
Did you
for
get the
handhelds
magazines?
mainly.
Okay.
I did. I was the nerd that had all the magazines.
Me too.
Game Informers and all
Game
that.
Pro.
Yeah, and then what was I liked the manuals too, like the stuff that you would be like, I don't know, for Pokemon it would have like all 151 in there, and it'd be like have
Yeah.
the locations. It's like a physical book.
I'll see if I have any left.
Answer.
Has any of this stuff like affected you in real life? I mean, your day jobs, etc. Like, you don't have to go into detail what you do for a living, but it has gaming influenced like your chosen professions. Am I alone? I feel like I'm no.
You are not alone.
I always feel like
So how has it affected? Well, I mean,
did it? I mean, did it have any influence over your chosen profession?
I definitely enjoy the tactile storytelling experience that gaming gives. So, I don't know if it necessarily affected what I do like in terms of like my job, because like as a camera operator or like a shooter. Ah, there it is, Game Pro. It's the real deal.
The stars of night. Is that 1993 right there? Is that
Yeah, hold on.
Pulling out some like vintage vintage paper?
Memorabilia. There's the word I'm looking for.
Nice. That thing's in mint. That is in mint
really good shape.
condition. Yeah.
Almost.
Near mint.
Near mint. I've got the top.
Oh, did you Did you have one of those? Those little controllers? Like, I remember when that controller came out, and I don't remember it being any better than just having like a handheld little poopy thing.
All the gimmicky Nintendo shit was terrible, dude. In the beginning, I don't know. I always did want that robot that would like change your cartridges for you.
Yeah.
It was a Japanese exclusive. Anyway, I don't know.
So
I
real
do
life,
art. I do art as my job, and I do think that enjoying like the creative space of storytelling, growing up and into this point, I think it has probably benefited me in a way that I may not realize. I guess that'll be my answer.
so like real life, like if we think about real life, has gaming affected your life and your work in a positive way or a negative way?
I mean, I think positively.
You do. That's
Yeah, I mean, it's a time suck. You know, like it
But
is.
I mean,
You know, it does take a lot of.
are the benefits? Do you find benefit from like, for instance, a role playing game?
Oh
Do you
yeah.
do you work like you know what we do with DreadLore? Do you play other